Welcome to World Cup T20 Daily. I'm Kartik Krishnaiyer from the Pavilion. Our program is sponsored by the Boca Raton Tribune, your closest neighbor if you're in South Florida, and the best cricket coverage of any newspaper in Florida. So check out the Boca Raton Tribune at thebocaratontribune.com and all the appropriate channels on social media. So we had a great first day of the ICC T20 Men's Cricket World Cup. West Indies start with a flyer against Scotland. Their bats were alive. You never know what to expect from the West Indies, but they win comfortably against Scotland. But scares for both Pakistan and India, the favorites in Group A. India, probably the pre-tournament favorite. Pakistan needed a flow of runs late to defeat the Netherlands, and the bowlers for the Netherlands were particularly good in this match. The target was an attainable target that Pakistan had to hit. The batting was okay. 147 was the target, but Pakistan had a flow of runs. They were efficient in their batting, but there were some really good bowling efforts from the Netherlands. I want to single out, which are Van Meckeren and Van Beek. Not Van Beek. Van Beek's some of his overs were very costly. Doot, very, very good bowling, good economy. But Pakistan felt like they knew what the target was. They knew what they needed to do. Took a while to get there, but they get the win. India against the United States. We're going to talk a little bit more about this on our From the Pavilion podcast, Ed Borth and myself. A brilliant day for Sky. Sky Yadav, the captain for India, potentially the best player in this tournament, the signature player for India cricket now at the T20 level, with both Kohli and Rohit Sharma having retired from the international T20 game. So the U.S. were in control of this match early. Some very economical bowling from the United States, some very smart fielding and field alignments set up by Monak Patel, the captain. Now, I think there were two turning points in this match. I think the first turning point was Ali Khan getting injured for the United States. The U.S.'s best bowler, the U.S.'s most experienced international in terms of internationals for the United States, right? We know that there are some members of the United States team that have featured before they switched to the U.S. for other national sides, be it at the youth level or at the senior level, but generally at the youth level. But Ali Khan, the most accomplished American, like specifically for the U.S. In the international game in terms of bowlers for the United States. And his injury when he was trying to in the field was trying to prevent a boundary, and he came up with that ball, but he had a groin sprain or something of the sorts. We saw him in a leg brace at the end of the match. He tried to go. He went back to the dressing room, tried to go in an over in the 17th over, could not go, and that was very costly because in the last over, Netravalkar gave up 22 runs, which got India to 161, which was a better target to defend. It was still kind of a low number, but a better target to defend. But Sky's 84 was brilliant because he wasn't able to establish a partnership throughout the entire innings. Basically, U.S. was getting a lot of wickets, quick wickets during the power play, and then stemming the flow of runs. And every time it felt like India had some momentum with a partnership, they'd get a wicket. But they never got Sky's wicket. And there were some fielding errors from the United States. And then towards the end of the innings, you saw Monak Patel change the field alignment several times to try and take away the seams, the creases, and the open areas in the pitch. And Sky, like the great player he is, the great batter he is, the great captain he is, found those weaknesses in the U.S.'s fielding alignment and were able to take advantage of them. And then I would say the second turning point in the match, U.S. lose a couple of wickets early. Andres Gauss, which is something I'm concerned about from the American perspective, because we saw him in a warm-up match give up his wicket on the first ball against New Zealand. a target that the U.S. New Zealand posted 207. The U.S. almost got to 207. They almost won that match, but they lost their very first batter on the very first ball. And then in this match, what we saw was the U.S. Lose a couple quick wickets again, including Gauss's wicket. But then there was an established partnership of Milind Kumar and Sanjay Krishnamurthy, who is the best young player in American cricket, in the USA cricket. The player I have the highest hopes for as an American among our young players. And that partnership was working. Didn't lose a wicket for about, I want to say somewhere near about 50 balls. And then Milind loses his wicket because he misjudges a ball that the keeper for India had caught and could go to the stumps and catch him out. Milind thought I think he saw out of the corner of his eye, he thought it was a single. So that was really the turning point, because that partnership of Milind Kumar, Sanjay Krishnamurthy, they were getting runs, a flow of runs that I think would have gotten the U.S. close to the target had he not lost his wicket at that particular point. Obviously, Shubham had the most runs for the U.S. in this match, but was injured. He got injured bowling as well during the earlier innings. Actually, he had replaced Ali Khan in that over where Ali Khan got hurt. And so he was playing with kind of a gimp also and wasn't running out balls. So that affected the U.S. Once he was the batter, that affected the U.S.'s ability to collect runs on singles. Now, at the same time, he still was able to give a certain degree of power and get under a couple of the balls to keep the U.S. nominally alive. But I think after Milind was called out and then Sanjay gave up his wicket soon thereafter, the U.S. was done. So what does this match tell us? There's a lot of positive signs for the U.S., although we have to check the injuries to Ali Khan. We got to check the injury to Shubham, and we have to remember that Jesse entered the tournament injured, having gotten hurt against New Zealand in the warm-up match. And that's another man down for the U.S. The U.S. has a very old squad. This is something to understand. Sanjay Krishnamurthy, the great young hope for American cricket, but some of these other guys they're going to take longer to recover from injuries. So ultimately, I think if the U.S. is going to have any chance against Pakistan, Ali Khan has to be fit. And I'm not sure he's going to be fit. That match is on Tuesday. What do we take for this from India, the pre-tournament favorites? They lose 9 wickets, right? The U.S. got everyone else, every other wicket, except for the one of Sky. And if they had gotten that, they would have won the match. Pretty simple. I think we've seen this in cricket before, where Australia has started a tournament slowly, or England has started, or India has started a tournament slowly and worked their way into a tournament. We see it in football all the time. I can go through the World Cups where Germany and Spain have started slow, or France have started slowly, and then have worked their way into a tournament and then have ended up winning it. Same thing with Euros. So stuff to correct for India for sure. I wouldn't be overly concerned if I were them. I think the U.S. gave a very spirited effort, and as an American, as someone who follows the U.S. Scene, my confidence is in our bowlers. Although, again, if Ali Khan is out and if Jesse continues to be out, that hurts us. Scadley Van Schalwick, brilliant today. One of our most experienced players as well. He got 4 wickets. 4 Indian wickets today. He didn't get the critical one, right? Obviously of Sky, but got 4 other wickets. I was a little concerned about his age. He's up there in years. Maybe this is the last tournament for him. Is he going to be able to bring it? Well, he brought it. So shout out to Scadley Van Schalwick. And then also wanted to mention very, very briefly Andres Gauss. He was out on the first ball against New Zealand in the warm-up match, and again out pretty quickly in this match, and that's something that is a concern for the U.S. For India, the bowling was brilliant. When India wins tournaments, it's because their bowling is brilliant. Let's just remember that. As much as we talk about the Kohlis and the Sharmas and the Tendulkars, their bowling is what carries them, and their bowling was brilliant today. The number was still a low number to defend. The U.S. had established that partnership. We're talking about the kind of mental error by Millen, but still, brilliant from India. Let's very, very quickly go through some other news and talk about tomorrow's matches. Hazelwood is out for Australia. Cummins already out for Australia, as we know. So with Hazelwood out and Cummins out, I don't think Australia are. It's hard to say this, but I don't think they're really a threat to win this tournament. But we do have teams that are threats to win the tournament playing tomorrow. So let's talk about New Zealand and Afghanistan. This might be the best match of the group stage. This is an epic battle. The spinners from Afghanistan, Rashid Khan, Nur Ahmad, you got to watch those two. Well, actually, Rahman also, right? All three of those spin bowlers for Afghanistan. We saw how effective they've been in the past. They come into this tournament in very good form. Heck, they got to the semifinals of the U19s, one-day U19s. So Afghan cricket really picking up. Is Afghanistan actually the favorite here? I have to say, what I saw from New Zealand against the United States concerned me. They were able to they were able to post a big number, 207. But the U.S. losing Gauss very first ball of the match, were able to make a run at it. And as I said earlier, as an American, I don't rate our attack quite like I rate our bowling. So this is the big match. I think for me, Glenn Phillips is the guy to watch for New Zealand because his sweep shots may disrupt that spin attack. England, my pre-tournament favorites. They play Nepal. Nepal are going to be brilliant in terms of their supporters coming out to the match. I am a little concerned about this drama with Harry Brook and the back pages and what happened in Sri Lanka, in the tour of Sri Lanka. The English media has been all over this. And this is something I was going to mention in terms of football. I've said England starts tournaments slowly also in football. The English press gets all over them in football, like this past Euro 2024, when England were working their way into the tournament, but every performance they were criticized for. And here, I'm already seeing the English press really say, well, Harry Brook it can't be the captain behaving like this, saying this stuff. There's a sense of entitlement at the ECB, etc. So we will see Jofra Archer bowls at incredibly high speeds, and we've seen him Jofra win this tournament, basically, for England with his bowling back in 2020, the post-COVID one, whatever year that was. I should know this, 2021, I guess. But so you've got an experienced England team, but we will see. I think that there's some question marks entering the tournament because of off the pitch stuff. The other match tomorrow is Sri Lanka versus Ireland. I want to see how Sri Lanka does. They have a good spinner attack. They've got a very, very difficult. Their bowling is very difficult to score against. Paul Sterling back for Ireland for yet another tournament. And Josh Little is, to me, an underrated bowler, particularly in the power play. He might get 3 overs in the power play. I wanted to mention that really quickly about India, the USA. I forgot that point. That we saw Sky make the decision because they had such a low target to defend, to have his 2 best bowlers bowl 3 overs each in the power play to slow down the U.S. But then the U.S. got going in the middle against good bowlers, but not the elite bowlers. And that's something to watch as this tournament develops. How do captains approach the power play? I think in Josh Little, you are going to see him bowl 3 overs in those first 6 against Sri Lanka. So that's our daily for today. Thank you again to the Boca Raton Tribune for stepping up and sponsoring our daily show. The Boca Raton Tribune, your closest neighbor if you're in South Florida, and the best cricket coverage of any newspaper in Florida. We will be back with you tomorrow. And also, a reminder, listen to our Beyond the Boundary from the Pavilion podcast with Ed Borth and myself for a full wrap up of USA India, a much more in depth wrap up of the USA and India.